Have you ever looked at someone and decided who they were before they even spoke? Most of us have. And sometimes, that single mistake becomes the greatest regret of our lives. This is the story of a man who wore worn-out clothes, walked with quiet dignity, and lived in a tiny old house at the edge of a small town. Everyone thought he was poor. Everyone. Except the truth. Nestled between green hills was a peaceful little town called Maple Creek. It wasn't the kind of place where strangers stayed unnoticed. Everyone knew everyone. Or, at least, they believed they did. Every morning, just before sunrise, an elderly man would slowly walk through the town carrying an old canvas bag. His shirt was faded. His shoes were patched several times. His hat looked older than some of the children playing in the streets. His name was Samuel. Children laughed whenever he passed. "Here comes old, poor Sam." Teenagers whispered and giggled. Shop owners greeted wealthy customers with warm smiles, but barely looked at Samuel. Some even chased him away before he could enter. "Nothing here is free," one shopkeeper would often say before Samuel even opened his mouth. Samuel never argued. He simply smiled. He thanked them and quietly walked away. The townspeople assumed he had nothing because he never tried to prove otherwise. Weeks became months. Months became years. Samuel continued living the same simple life. He fixed broken fences for widows without charging them. He quietly picked up trash after festivals before sunrise, so no one would notice. If someone's roof leaked during a storm, somehow it would be repaired overnight. No one ever knew who had done it. People simply assumed good luck had visited. But one group in town enjoyed mocking Samuel more than anyone else. 5 young men in their 20s. Loud, confident, always dressed in expensive clothes, bought with money from their families. They believed appearance was everything. One afternoon, they saw Samuel sitting alone on a wooden bench, eating plain bread. One of them laughed loudly. "Look at him. Imagine living your whole life and ending up with nothing." Another tossed a coin onto the ground. "Here, old man. Buy yourself a decent meal." The others burst into laughter. People nearby watched. Some smiled. No one defended Samuel. Samuel slowly picked up the coin, walked over, placed it gently back into the young man's hand, then smiled. "I hope one day you'll need kindness more than money." The young men laughed even harder. What a strange old fool. Samuel simply continued walking. Not angry. Not embarrassed. Just peaceful. Life moved on. Until one autumn morning, dark clouds gathered over Maple Creek. Heavy rain fell for 3 straight days. The peaceful river that surrounded the town overflowed. Floodwaters rushed into streets. Homes were destroyed. Shops collapsed. Bridges disappeared beneath muddy water. Families lost almost everything. Insurance couldn't cover the damage. Government help would take months. Fear spread across the town. People wondered if Maple Creek would ever recover. A community meeting was called. Everyone gathered inside the old town hall. Voices filled the room. "We need money. We need building materials. We need food. But who can help us?" Silence. The mayor lowered his head. "Our town doesn't have enough funds." Hopelessness filled the room. Then, the back door slowly opened. In walked Samuel, still wearing the same faded shirt, still carrying the same old canvas bag. Some people rolled their eyes. Others sighed. What can he possibly do? Samuel quietly walked to the front. He placed a folder on the mayor's desk. "I believe this can help." The mayor opened it. His eyes widened. He looked again. Then again, his hands began shaking. "What? What is this?" Samuel calmly answered. "Property deeds, investment accounts, business ownership documents." The room fell silent. The mayor looked at the paperwork, then at Samuel, then back again. He could hardly speak. "Mr. Samuel, you own over 200 businesses across the country." Gasps filled the hall. "You donated millions to hospitals, schools, orphanages, and disaster relief." Another page. "You're one of the richest men in the region." No one moved. No one spoke. The same people who had laughed at him stared in complete disbelief. The shopkeeper who refused to serve him slowly sat down. The 5 young men turned pale. Samuel had never been poor. Not even close. Years earlier, Samuel had built a successful manufacturing company from nothing. After selling the business, he became incredibly wealthy. But instead of chasing luxury, he chose simplicity. He believed money should improve lives, not inflate pride. So he dressed simply, lived modestly, and quietly helped people without expecting recognition. The mayor looked up with tears in his eyes. "Why didn't you ever tell anyone?" Samuel smiled. "Because I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was trying to understand them." The room became painfully quiet. Samuel continued. "When people think you have nothing, they reveal everything about themselves." No one could look him in the eyes. Then Samuel made an announcement no one expected. "I've already arranged the funds. We'll rebuild every damaged home. We'll restore every business. No family will carry this burden alone." The room erupted in tears. People stood. Some cried openly. Others covered their faces in shame. The shopkeeper who had humiliated Samuel walked forward with trembling hands. "I'm so sorry. I judged you." Samuel gently shook his hand. "We all judge. The important thing is whether we're willing to change." Then came the 5 young men, the same ones who had laughed, thrown the coin, called him worthless. They couldn't even speak. One finally whispered, "We don't deserve your forgiveness." Samuel looked at them kindly. "Maybe not, but everyone deserves another chance to become a better person." That sentence stayed with them forever. The months that followed transformed Maple Creek. Not because of the money, because of the people. The young men who once mocked Samuel became volunteers. They rebuilt homes with their own hands. They helped elderly neighbors every weekend. The shopkeeper began giving free groceries to struggling families. Children stopped laughing at people because of old clothes. Teachers began telling Samuel's story in classrooms. Visitors often asked where the wealthy businessman lived. The townspeople would smile. That little house near the old oak tree. People expected a mansion. Instead, they found the same tiny home, the same vegetable garden, the same old wooden bench. And Samuel, still wearing patched shoes, still smiling at everyone. Years later, when Samuel peacefully passed away, thousands attended his funeral. Not because he had been rich, but because he had been kind. The mayor gave a short speech that no one ever forgot. We thought we were measuring a man's worth by his clothes, but all along, he was measuring ours by our hearts. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Because the richest person in the room isn't always the one wearing the finest suit. Sometimes, the richest person is the one who has learned that kindness is worth more than wealth. So before you judge someone by what they wear, by the car they drive, or by the house they live in. Remember, Samuel, because appearances can fool your eyes. But character always reveals the truth. If this story touched your heart, let it remind you that every person you meet is fighting a battle or carrying a story you cannot see. Treat people with respect before they earn it in your eyes. One simple act of kindness may become the lesson that changes your life forever. Thank you for watching. Your support gives us strength to create more videos like this. So please do well to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.